Hello everyone and welcome to CGO Videos, and today we are doing a super easy cinnamon roll hack. First you're going to want to just preheat your oven to 350 degrees, and then next you're going to take a dish. It could be a glass dish, it could be a metal dish, it doesn't really matter, but you're going to want to make sure you grease it really well. And then you're just going to need some store-bought refrigerated cinnamon rolls, and we are just using the Pillsbury regular cinnamon rolls. Some people like to use the Grands. You don't have to, and you can use any brand you want. And next we're just going to put our cinnamon rolls, layer them in the dish. Okay, we have our cinnamon rolls in our pan ready to go. You could do a larger batch, that's fine, and it's just going to be a little bit more crowded with the cinnamon rolls. That's no big deal. These things are going to puff up. Like, your cinnamon rolls are going to puff up a lot, which is so great. But the key thing that you need for your cinnamon rolls to puff up is going to be some whipping cream. So we're going to add some whipping cream. We're going to do a little bit and cover up the cinnamon rolls a little bit and fill the pan about halfway full. Also, the cinnamon rolls that you buy refrigerated, typically they're going to come with some sort of icing in a bag or container, and you're going to just want to set that to the side. You're going to need that later. So we're going to put the heavy whipping cream in our pan, and we'll show you what we're going to do next. Here we have our cinnamon rolls with the whipping cream, and as you can see, we have our dish filled about halfway full, and we did pour a little bit of the whipping cream on top of those cinnamon rolls. And as I said before, these cinnamon rolls are going to puff up, or technical terms, expand. And when these bake, they get so much larger than if you were just baking them without anything, just baking them as per directions. These are going to get so big and they are so delicious. But first, before we can put these in the oven, we have to do our next step, and for that you're going to need brown sugar, some melted butter, and some cinnamon. Okay, so we have 4 tablespoons or a half a stick of melted butter, and you're going to need a half a cup of brown sugar, and then you're just going to add your cinnamon to taste. So I'm probably going to add about a tablespoon, but if you like it a little bit more cinnamony, you can add a little bit more, or you can add a little bit less. Or if you feel like there's enough cinnamon on the cinnamon rolls, you don't have to add any to this step, but we're going to add about a tablespoon. You're just going to mix those ingredients together, and then we're going to put that on top of our cinnamon rolls. As you can see, I have added the brown sugar, cinnamon, and melted butter mixture on top of the cinnamon rolls. I prefer to just take a spoon and put some of the mixture on top because the mixture is going to be a little bit of a thicker consistency. Some people pour it on top. I find it easier just to take a spoon and just place it on top of the cinnamon rolls. If you decide to do a double batch, you will have to make a double batch of this mixture. So if you do that, you're just going to need a cup of brown sugar, a whole stick of butter, which is 8 tablespoons of butter melted, and cinnamon to your taste. Right? You can add as much or as little or none. If you don't want to add any extra cinnamon, you don't have to. And again, you're just going to place that right on top of your cinnamon rolls. And next, we're going to cover your baking pan or your baking dish with aluminum foil. Our dish is covered with aluminum foil and it is ready to go in the oven. We're going to bake these cinnamon rolls for about 50 minutes. You could do 40 to 50, but I typically like to bake it for about 50 minutes at 350 degrees. It's been 50 minutes. The cinnamon rolls are out of the oven. You can see how much they've expanded. They've gotten so much bigger and they're going to be light and fluffy. But now it is time to add, if your cinnamon rolls came with, and most of them do, some icing. And again, it will be in a bag or a container. And you're just going to add that icing on top of the cinnamon rolls. I just took the icing from the container and just took a knife and just spread that on top, and it gets nice and melts down because the cinnamon rolls are still warm. So it's going to make it nice and ooey and gooey, and now it is ready to serve. So your cinnamon rolls are all set to serve, and what I like to do is, if you're like me and you get a little bit of this like heavy cream and it blends with the brown sugar mixture at the bottom, I like to take some of it and just kind of serve it on top of the cinnamon rolls. And if you like Cinnabons, you are gonna love these cinnamon rolls. They are so good. They are so light and so fluffy. We definitely recommend that you give the cinnamon roll hack a try.